Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we will see the new chapter of second PU, that is matrices. Matrices is a plural form of the matrix. First I will give the definition of the matrix. A matrix is an ordered rectangular array of number or functions. That we are writing any numbers or functions array in a rectangular form, then it will be the matrix. We can see there are three different form of the elements arrangements. The first, the set of all triangles which contains in a one box, or you can say one cell. So the number inside the cell is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If we write in terms of number, it is 15, right? Only one kind of elements which are present in this box, and the number is 15. And if you enclosed this by a square bracket, then this is one example of the matrix which contains only one element, which is a number. Clear? In this case, here there are 6 different types of the elements or objects which are arranged in a self. Clear? Or in certain box. If I represent this in terms of matrix, it contains the elements like this. Here there are 15 dots in the first line, first horizontal line, and in the second vertical line there are 6 objects of the same kind. Here there are 10 cross marks, and here there are 2 objects, and here there are 13 objects, and here there are 5 objects. Now you can see the elements inside this cells. I can represent this in terms of number. The first self it contains 15 elements. First horizontal line, second self which contains 6 lines, second horizontal line, first vertical line column which contains 10 stars, and second horizontal line, second vertical column which contains 2 objects, similarly 13 and 5. And I am enclosing this number of arrangements by the square bracket. So this kind of the arrangement of a number or function is known as matrix. Can you write for this representation in terms of matrix? Here you have only one horizontal arrangements, and that 2 vertical line arrangements are there. In the first place there are 10 elements, in the second place there are 8 elements. So this is the representation of this arrangements. And not only this, we have the functions, right? X square, f1 plus x, sin x. All these functions are also can be arranged in a matrix. Like here one more example you can write. 1 plus x is the first element, x cube is the second element, 3 cos x sin x plus 2 tan x. Okay. These are all the function inside the matrix. So we can write numbers or function inside the matrix. So the matrix is an ordered rectangular array of a numbers or function. The order should be same. Here the first element it contains 15 numbers. So inside the matrix also the first number should be 15. Order rectangular array of number or function. And now the horizontal line of elements are said to constitute rows of a matrix. So this will be the first row, this will be the second row, this will be the third row. Clear? The horizontal lines of elements, so this is what are said to be constitute rows of the element. This is first row, second row and third. Same way the vertical line of elements are said to constitute columns of a matrix. This is the columns of a matrix. This is first column and this is second column. Clear? The horizontal line of elements are said to be constitute rows of a matrix. The vertical lines elements are constitute column of a matrix. Here there are only one row. You can see in this direction there is one horizontal line and one vertical line element. So this is, it contains one row and one column. Here in this you can observe here we have only one row and two columns. This matrix contains one row and two columns. Okay. What is the meaning of row and column and the matrices? Next we will see the concept of order of a matrix. We know the matrix, if we write any matrix, it has some number of rows and some number of columns. And a matrix having m rows and n columns. M and n are any integer, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 up to some number. N also 1, 2, 3, 4 up to some numbers. If a matrix having m rows and n columns is called a matrix of order m by n. This is what we are representing the order of the matrix. We have to read it as m by n matrix, or simply you can say m by n matrix. Let us take some example related to this. Here one example of a matrix which contains the element -2, 5, 0, root 5, 3 and 6. Now observe carefully. Here we have first row, second row and third row. So there are 3 rows and how many columns? 1, 2 columns. This matrix contains 3 rows and 2 columns. By the definition of the ordered matrix, if a matrix having m rows, n columns, then we can say it is a m by n matrix. m row ಮತ್ತೆ n column ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು m by n matrix ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನುಂಟು 3 rows and 2 columns. Can we say it is a 3 by 2 matrix? Yes, absolutely. It is a 3 by 2 matrix. We are writing the order in the suffix of the matrix. Here we are writing the order 3 by 2 matrix. Clear? Can you guess what is the order of this matrix B? Okay, here we have 3 rows, 1 column, second column, third column. So it is a 3 by 3 matrix. And observe carefully, we are writing the number of rows first, then we are writing the number of columns in the order of a matrix. So it is a 3 rows 3 column. It is a 3 by 3 matrix. In the previous case it is a 3 by 2 matrix. In generally, an m by n matrix has the following rectangular array. Like see here, A11, A12, A13, A1j, A1n, A21, A22, A23, A2j, A2n, up to AI, AM1, AM2, AM3, AMJ, AMN. Now look at this. These are the elements of the matrix. Which represent, this is the element in the first row, first column, in the first row of the matrix, first column of the matrix. So it is A suffix 1 1, first row, first column. What is this? It is an element in the first row, second column. So A13 is the element of the matrix A, which is in the position first row, third column. Similarly, up to, if you consider it is a jth column, then Aij is the element of first row, jth column. Suppose we have, it is a m by n matrix, so number of columns are n, so it is the last column of this matrix is n. Therefore, A1n is the first row, nth column. Clear? Similarly, all these elements. If what you mean by this, Aij, in general, we can say Aij is the element of the matrix A in the ith row, jth column. Aij is the element in the ith row, jth column. And what is the position of AMI? AMN? AMN is a matrix. A is the element of the matrix A in the mth row, nth column. Mth row, nth column have the elements AMN. So this is one of the general representation of m by n. Why I am writing m in the last line? Because matrix which has m row and n column, 1, 2, if it is 2, 3 up to, it should contain m row and n column. M and n are any natural number. This is one form of representation. The another form of the representation is matrix A. We are writing one element inside this square bracket Aij, and we are writing the order here. This tells us the elements, the matrix A has the element Aij of order m by n. This matrix contains m row, n columns. And next, here we have to mention the what you mean by I and what you mean by j. I starts from 1 to m, right? Aij. This I starts from A1, A2, A3, A4 up to AM. So I start from 1, 2 up to n. 1 to n. Here also 1, 2 up to m. 1, 2 up to n. Look at the first number, 1, 2 up to m. 1, 2 up to n. So I start from 1 ending at m, and j start from 1, 2, 3 up to n, right? 1, 2, 3 up to n. Look at the second element in this suffix. So j running 1 to n, and I and j are the natural number. Clear? So this is the general representation of a m by n matrix. Okay. Now let us take let us look into the ith row elements. In this matrix, the ith row which contains the elements, ith row ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು? ai1, ai2, ai3, ai4 up to aij up to ain. ith row ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ai1, ai2, ai3 up to ain. Let me take jth column elements. jth column ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ? a1j, a2j, a3j, a4j up to aij till anj. Now I am using comma here because we are writing the elements, but in the matrix we are not going to use any comma and any full stop between the elements. We are giving space between the elements here. So in general, aij is the element in the ith row jth column. ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡುವ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ, ರೈಟ್? a31, a32, a33, a34 up to a3j up to a3n. ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು 3 ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. If I take fifth column element, ಆಗೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ? a15, a25, a35 up to ai5, am5. Now you can see the second number won't change. The number is 5. That means it is a fifth column entry. Column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3, 4 ಈ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. a15, a25, a35 up to am5. Clear? Okay. Let us take one more thing here. In this example, the above example that we already discussed, look at here. We have 3 rows, 2 columns, right? 3 rows, 2 columns. Now count the elements inside this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total there are 6 elements in the matrix A. And in this, count the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 elements. Total number of elements are 9 in the matrix B. Just look at the number of elements and the matrix, order of a matrix. Can you think? 3 into 2, the order is 3 by 2. If you multiply 3 and 2, we are getting 6. Here also, the order of the matrix B is 3 into 3. If you multiply 3 and 3, then it is 9. So, if a matrix which having the m rows n columns, then it contains the elements, total number of elements as mn. 3 by 2 ಆಗುವಾಗ 3 into 2 elements ಇರ್ತದೆ, 6 elements. 3 by 3 ಆಗುವಾಗ 3 into 3 total 9 elements ಇರ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ m by n ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ, m by n ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ total number of elements is mn. Clear? Or you can take if one matrix which has a order 3 by 5. This is the order of the matrix. Now you can tell the how many elements should be there in the matrix. If it is a 7 row and 5 column, then 7 into 5, there is 35 elements, 35 total number of elements present in this matrix. 7 by 5 order idre matrix adradu total number of elements irtade 7 into 5, it is 35 elements. It should be present in the matrix. Second thing is, if we write the point in a plane, how we are writing? We are writing x comma y, or one point which having the coordinates 2 comma 1, we can draw this point in the plane. Okay, we can also write this point in terms of matrix like 2 1 or 2, sorry, we don't write comma and dots in the plane, so it is a 2 1. Clear? Or in general, I can write a point like this, x comma y or x comma. We can also represent a point in a matrix. Okay. Next, we will see some of the problems related to this of representation of matrix. Problems. Consider the following information regarding the number of men and women workers in the 3 factories 1, 2 and 3. It mentioned that there are 3 factories, factory 1, factory 2, factory 3. In that, each factory contains men workers and women workers. This data gives in the factory 1 there are 30 men and 25 women workers, and in the factory 2 there are 25 men workers and 31 women workers. In the factory 3 there are 27 men workers and 26 women workers. The problem is to represent the above information in the form of 3 by 2 matrix, which does the entries in the, and what does the entries in the third row second column represent? Here we have to represent the above information. I will write the information here: men workers, women workers, factory 1, factory 2, factory 3. There are 30 men workers, 25 women workers. In the factory 2 there are 25 men workers, 31 women workers. In the factory 3 there are 27 women workers, men workers, 26 women workers. This information we have to represent in the 3 by 2 matrix. Why they are given 3 by 2 matrix? They also mention there are 3 factories and each row contains the, depending on the first factories. First row ಯಾವುದನ್ನು represent ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೆನ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, ವುಮೆನ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೆನ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ವುಮೆನ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಈಚ್ ರೋ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ us the men workers and women workers depending on the factories, right? So how we can write? We have to give one name. I will give name A for this matrix, and here it has the order 3 by 2. This tells us this matrix contains 3 rows and 2 columns, right? 3 rows, 2 columns. The first row, first column tells us the number of elements in the first factory, number of men in the first factory. First factory liruva men workers ಎಷ್ಟು, that is 30. Second element first factory liruva women workers ಎಷ್ಟು, 25. Second row ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ, second factory liruva first column ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ, men workers. So second factory liruva men workers ಎಷ್ಟು, which is 25, 31, 27, 26. Similarly, this is the final representation of the matrix, that is matrix A is equal to 30, 25, 25, 31, 27, 26. Please be careful, it should be the square bracket. If we draw simply lines, it will be the determinant that we will see in the next chapter. Please be careful while writing the matrix. It should be the square matrix, and you have to write the order as well. And second question what they ask, what does the entry in the third row and second column? Third row, first row, third row, second column, third row, second column entry. The entry in the third row and second column represent the number of women workers in factory 3. Factory 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ number of women workers ಅನ್ನು represent ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Here, the entry in the third row, second column tells us it is the number of women workers in the factory number 3. This is the way of representing the numbers and representing the matrix for this data, and each elements having their own meaning in the given data. The second problem, if a matrix has 8 elements, what are the possible orders it can have? It's quite interesting question. ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೀಬಹುದು? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್? We already know if a matrix having m rows and n columns, then the number of elements are m into n. Here they are given m into n. The number of elements are m into n. Therefore, how many rows and how many columns we can write these elements? I'll write the elements like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is one kind of matrix, correct? ಹೀಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುವುದು 8 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. ಇದೇನುಂಟು? ಒಂದು ರೋ 8 ಕಾಲಮ್, 1 ರೋ 8 ಕಾಲಮ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. This is the one possible way. I can write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also one possible way. This is the elements which has 8 rows and 1 column. E types of elements and bariboard. Alva? Or else I can write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here you have 2 and 4. 2 rows, 4 columns. Or in terms of this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this also you can write it as 4 into 2. ಇದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ರೆಕ್ಟಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. So to tell the possible orders, if we can write, if a total number of elements are given, it is a multiplication or it is a factors, multiplication factors that we can do in the given elements. 8 of the multiplication factors ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ? We have 1, 8, 1 into 8 is equal to 8, and 8 into 1 is equal to 8, 2 into 4 is equal to 8, 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So we have to find how many products will give the number 8 to get the possible orders, the number of possible orders. Okay, 1 into 8, 8 into 1, 2 into 4, 4 into 2. Therefore, the orders we can write for 8 elements is are 1 into 8 or 1 by 8 elements ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, or 8 by 1 ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, or 2 by 4 or 4 by 2. Therefore, there are 4 possible way we can write a matrix having 8 elements. Clear? 4 ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 8 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುವ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 8 ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗುವ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ರೈಟ್, ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆಯುವುದು, that will be the possible way we can write the matrices having the 8 elements. In the next problem, this is a final problem for this class. Construct a 3 by 2 matrix whose elements are given by Aij, which is equal to 1 by 2 I minus 3j. We know if it is a 3 by 2 matrix, in the general form of 3 by 2 matrix is which contains 3 rows and 2 columns. 3 by 2 matrix. In general notation, it is A11 first row first column, first row second column, A12 second row first column, 21 second row second column, A31 A32. So the general notation of the matrix is A11 A12 A21 A22 A31 A32. This is a 3 by 2 matrix. And we also know it contains 6 elements of, if the order 3 by 2, then the now total number of elements are 3 into 2. 6 elements should be there in the matrix. And here they are given Aij, the elements of the matrix Aij, which is equal to half into modulus of I minus 3j. Now we will find A11 A12 on all the elements, then we will write the Aij. A11, just compare this with this, Aij 1 by 2 I minus 3j. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, Aij ಆದರೆ ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು, ಹಾಫ್ ಇಂಟು I minus 3j. A11 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, I ಯ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ 1 ಉಂಟು, J ಯ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ ಸಹ 1 ಉಂಟು ಇನ್ ದಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್. ರೈಟ್, in the right hand side also we should substitute in the place of I by 1 and J by 1. Simple thing, just substituting this thing and get the element. Okay, this is half, and this is not the matrix, this is the modulus sign. Okay, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ see here, 1 minus 3 into 1, it is 3. The answer is 1 by 2 modulus 3 into minus 2. Since it is a modulus function, it will give us a plus 2 to 1 to 1. The final answer is 1. Therefore, A11 which we are getting is 1 from this formula. Or you can say it is a formula. Okay. Similarly, I can find A21. A21 is half into I means 2 here, minus 3 into J here, it is 1. So half into 2 minus 3, which is half into 2 minus 3, that is half into minus 1. Since it is a modulus function ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಹ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. 1 by 2 into 1, it's equal to 1 by 2. So A21 it's equal to 1 by 2. A31 ನೋಡುವ, half into 3 minus 3 into 1. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3? In the place of I we have 3, in the place of J we have 1. Substituting this, half into 3 minus 3 is equal to half into 0. 0 multiply with anything is 0. So A31 is equal to 0. Next, A11 ಆಯಿತು, A21 ಆಯಿತು, A31 ಆಯಿತು. A41 we don't want because it is a matrix of 3 by 2. So 3 rows ಇರುವ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ. A41 ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Next we will find A12. 1 by 2, 1 because I value is 1 here, J value is 2 here. 1 minus 6 is equal to 1 by 2 minus 5. Since it is a modulus function, it will give plus 5. Answer is 5 by 2. A22 is equal to 1 by 2. 2 minus 3 by 2, which we know how to substitute this. Now, so it is 2 minus 6 is equal to 1 by 2 of minus 4. Since it is a modulus function, it will give plus 4 by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2s it is 2. So A22 is equal to 2. A32 is equal to 1 by 2. 3 minus 3 into 2, it is half. 3 minus 6 is equal to half minus 3 is equal to plus 3 by 2. Modulus function ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ A32 it's equal to 3 by 2. Therefore, given matrix is ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯುವ. ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ? A11 value is 1, A12 value is half. ಇಲ್ಲಿ A21 ಜಾಗ್ರತೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್, ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ 0. అంటే A12 ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ 5 by 2, second row second column 2, third row second column that is 3 by 2. Finally add on the order 3 by 2 matrix. This is the given thing. This is how we are getting the matrix if we are constructing the matrix according to this condition. Okay, it is enough today. Next we will see the types of matrix and operation on matrices. Thank you.